Hello Africa, we are continuing with our discussions on promoting sustainable agricultural initiatives from the perspective of higher education institutions, particularly with the Department of Soil Science at the University of Cape Coast. My name is Nana Ismamba, so I'm going for a short break, and when we come back, we shall start this discussion. Hello Africa, you're welcome to AgroLink on AAU TV. AgroLink is a program that aims at showcasing and highlighting agricultural activities on the continent. Welcome back from the break. Okay, Prof, you're welcome to AgroLink.
Thank you.
Okay, so can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, Akwasi Ampofo, that is my name. Immediate past head of Soil Science Department. I joined Soil Science Department in 2002. I rose through the rank to be associate professor. And I handed over last year as head of department. So basically, and since I joined this thing, almost all the people I came to meet, they are on retirement, some have died.
Okay.
So we are now
The seniors.
The seniors.
Okay.
And we have our young ones now we have recruited them to join us. So basically we have recruited, and we are supposed to recruit more because we are expanding. Our frontiers. Currently, it's as if we have about 6 lecturers. When I say from lecturers to professors, there are 6, and we need more. We're about 7, and one has just left for UK, and we don't know whether he'll come back or continue there. So we are still recruiting, hoping that. And soil science, who were helping undergraduate level, the general agricultural people, teaching them the soil aspect of the general agriculture. Then we decided to introduce our PhD and our MPhil. So on the PhD level, we have soil science, PhD, MPhil. What I mean is we have MPhil, PhD, soil science. Then we have MPhil, PhD, land use and environmental science. Because we realized that the pure soil science people were not forthcoming. It could be as a result of job opportunities, or people didn't understand it more.
I mean, I can understand.
Because of that, we introduced land use and environmental science. Of all the Ghana universities, no universities, to the best of my knowledge, undergraduate do soil science. They do general agric, and along the line, then they separate, specialize. So we have decided that we have to introduce soil science from the undergraduate level. So we have done everything with the GTEC for accreditation. We have soil and environmental management, BSc, soil and environmental management, which we have worked on it. It has passed through the system and it has gone. The idea is to get them young so that they appreciate the soil science. Exactly. The reason why most of them don't appreciate because they think too mathematical. People don't like mathematics, and because of that, they don't want to engage in that. So we have introduced that very soon. We start BSc, soil and environmental management combined. Okay. Then we realized that those who were doing the MPhil, either soil science or land use environmental science, after the coursework here, MPhil is 2 years. Coursework 1 year, then research another year. But I realized that some of them, when they finish the coursework, you never hear of them again. Okay. Then they wanted to come and do what called step down, to come and get MSc, so that they don't get the MPhil, especially those who are working. So we decided that we don't do the MSc, and as a result, they were finding it difficult. There are others too who wanted to do like the MSc 1 year because of their job. So that one too, we have decided to do the MSc. So that one too, it has been done. It's almost the gene tech for accreditation. So those people who cannot come and stay for 2 years can come and do
1 year.
1 year and go in the soil science or land use. And this one is land use and environmental science because people appreciate that one more than the typical soil science.
Okay.
So that's what we have been doing so
nice.
far.
Okay.
Like I think the head too has mentioned a lot of the research we
Yeah.
are doing. Actually, my area is soil conservation.
Okay.
That's what I do most of the time, soil conservation. But I like mathematics. So along the line, I do a lot of soil physics too because it involves a lot of calculations and those kind of things.
Okay.
So
So
I do
now,
that.
as a soil conservationist, what does sustainable agricultural practices mean
Yes,
to you?
soil conservation, when you say soil conservation, the idea is to conserve the soil, whatever method you use to conserve the soil, so that the fertility will keep on, if nothing at all, it will maintain or improve. Because when the fertility goes down, a situation where the soil is degraded or is taken away, that's what we have, the erosion. You see, in our part of this world, it rains heavily. So whenever it rains heavily, we have a lot of the soil being taken away. And when it's taken away, it's not only the soil that is being taken away, it goes with the nutrients because most of the nutrients adhere themselves to the soil particles. So when it is going with the nutrients. So if we allow this thing to continue, your soil, you come, it will never support plant growth again. Another thing to, if you take the soil itself, the particle when it is going, we have what we call soil depth. Soil depth means the depth of the soil which will feed the crop. So if you have a soil depth and the rooting system or the rooting depth of the plant is where the taproot, the tip of the taproot to where the interface of the soil surface and the soil is what we call the rooting depth. Good. So if the soil depth is shorter than the rooting depth, the crop cannot do well because it will go to the subsoil. So if you have your soil depth like this, that can support, say, cocoa, which has a taproot, and you allow it to erode. Next time, cocoa cannot do well because the rooting depth of the cocoa is more than the soil depth. And as a result, it cannot do well because you go into the subsoil, which has rocks and pebbles there. Good. So all that you do to maintain the soil is conserved is what we do. So we do at times what we call mulching. The soil surface, we use something to cover it so that it cannot be taken away. Depending upon the slope too. At times we do stone banks. Stones, put the stones there so that any sediment that will be coming will be hit and it will get stuck there so that it will be maintained. It becomes critically. Here they don't do it much. Some place to use what we call mechanical means whereby you cut the slope into pieces. We call it steps. They call it terracing.
Yeah, terracing.
That one. At times too, we don't use the machine to do the terracing. After harvesting, you put the thing on line, so that will serve as a boundary. Anything that will come. So with some years, you see that it will be coming down. So any nutrient that will be coming from the upslope will build up, and go. So basically, that is what we do with that one too.
Okay,
And like I was saying, because of that conservation, at times too, the soil can be salty. When I say salty, because once we are using to irrigate, or we are allowing water to irrigate, it catches certain amount of chemicals that will form the salt, especially when it contains a lot of chlorine to form it. So the only thing is when it is salty, how do you do away with the salty? So that one too, we do it here. So at times depends. Sometimes it's called what we call ponding. Ponding means you pond more water on it so that the salt will be dissolved into the soil, then you can work on it. At times to have to use drainage, surface drainage. You cut, then when the thing dissolves, it goes to the drains and it goes down. At times to do what the harder we don't do it. Subsurface draining, well, put pipes under the soil so that when it dissolves, it will get into the pipes and it goes. So basically, that is what all this is part and parcel of conserving the soil.
The soil. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So looking at our part of the world where now with initially there was so much arable land, you could cultivate anywhere, cut down as many trees as possible, but now we are promoting the practice of afforestation and even home garden and all that. So looking at this initiative, what do you think can be done to ensure that people, you know, with time, as you cultivate a piece of land over time, the chemicals change, reactions, and now even the nutrients also diminish.
Yes.
Yeah, so what can be done in this aspect?
But yes, the thing that can be done, the nutrient, apart from the one that we go. I think if my memory says my overhead, my head that human beings are made of soil.
Soil, yeah.
And as I know, anything the soil needs, you yourself you also need it. So when you harvest your crop, some of the nutrients are gone to the crops. That's what you eat and you become strong. So even if there is no erosion at all, nothing goes. The fertility will decline. Because some has turned into crops. When I say it has gone into the crops and you are eating. So always you have to do something that will help to replenish the soil. What are some of these? We have two types, either inorganic way or organic way. The organic way is what we use the fertilizers, or inorganic fertilizers, NPK, something. The inorganic way, the organic way is where you use something from, when you say organic, something from anything that used to live. And it has changed to something else, is what we call the organic. That the leaves, the cow dung, those are all these things. So the thing that the soil has taken up upon themselves is composting. They are doing a lot of composting. This young man there, they are doing a lot of composting. So that at least we reduce the use of the inorganic fertilizer and we maintain that organic fertilizer. That one, it takes time to reduce, to decompose, and as a result, releasing the nutrient to is gradual. So it can take a long time before it will finish. But the inorganic one, it's like somebody we are sick. Somebody may take para, another may take injection. The injection is quick, goes to the bloodstream and you get this thing. But the para, that tablets you take, it takes gradual for it to digest. So the same thing. There is another thing too, we have realized it helps a lot. If we're in like a place like this, those who are using charcoal, after putting the charcoal and they put it down, if it's a place they have grass, you see that place, it is growing very, very well.
Really?
Yes. If you go try, like after we have finished eating, put some charcoal there. Or even those who burn their distance, where they have some charcoal there, you see that it is growing very, very well compared to where they don't have that charcoal. So that idea trickled down to what we call biochar. So these are twigs, the corn husks and this one.
Cob
we cut it pieces, then we expose it to high temperature called pyrolysis.
So that it doesn't become dust. But
now, so the idea is because they are small, so they have large surface area. It is able to attract nutrients in the soil to itself. So that's how it works. So actually, it's not a fertilizer per se. But
it's a trigger.
A trigger. It's able to, wherever the nutrient is, it brings it closer. Charcoal, don't know. Even if your food is destroyed.
Yes, palm nut soup.
And you put inside, it's able to absorb all those things.
The
so
chemicals.
If you remove it away, then you get your this thing. The same thing is happening to the
so the same concept
is how it is working. So we have introduced that, and we are doing a lot here. The charcoal, that's what Ghana, not that people are. So they usually invite farmers to introduce, go and demonstrate to them to do all these things, so that at the end of the day, we will be able to sustain agriculture to the end. So the main thing we usually do here is what we call composting and the biochar production and help farmers. They have used it to do a lot of try tests on the field, people to see this is biochar application, this is not biochar application, and as a result, it is coming up. More people appreciate it. Only that it hasn't gone far enough, to be blunt. It hasn't gone far too. Now that we are doing that, they have written a lot of papers on that.
But since this is something that is even organic and around,
Yes,
I think
around
a
you,
lot
yes.
of farmers
Farmers
will pick
will,
up on
pick
it.
up.
Yes.
Like we are doing this backyard this
Yeah.
thing. If we introduce this thing more, we get a lot of the results. So, and I think they have brought a lot of farmers to come and teach them all these things. So farmers, especially within these areas, are very
picking
aware,
it up.
Picking it
Okay,
up.
all right. So, Prof, we'll go for a break, and when we come back, we'll look at some of the challenges that you face on your quest to contribute to sustainable agriculture. Go for a short break, and when we come back, we shall continue with this discussion. Hello, Africa. You're welcome to AgroLink on AAU TV. AgroLink is a program that aims at showcasing and highlighting agricultural activities on the continent. You're welcome back from the break. Okay, so Prof, now let's look at some of the challenges that you faced.
The challenges that we face, first is the national one. When I say the national one is, people don't consider soil, when you are talking of agriculture, they don't usually consider the soil as the major aspect of the whole thing. So even when it is the national one, they are coming to undertake any agricultural venture, you don't normally hear people like to analyze the soil to see whether it will work or it may not work. So all that they know is the crops is doing well, forgetting that the crop is not doing well in a vacuum. It is working on something. And as a result, even if you go to Ministry of Agriculture, I don't think they have a full department. I think it is a desk that they have for soil. I'm here to be corrected. I stand to be corrected. But unlike the crops where it has gained the popularity, so that is the first and foremost thing. And as a result, people don't see much. However, when there's a problem, then say, oh, then the soil. So you are doing soil. So how can this man crop can do well? But when they are doing that, they don't take that one into consideration. Within the soil, you have what you call spatial variability. Variability means if I move from here to here, the soil here may be different from here. So if your crops is doing well here, that does not mean if you go here, it may do well. But if you have done the analysis, you know that, okay, here is this, here is that, here is that, good. It's not every place that you can grow certain types of crops. Some can be climatic or environmental, some can be for the soil itself. So before you take any venture, you have to at least recognize the importance of the soil for them to come and do something and advise you. I may be wrong though, let me put it this year. I may be wrong though. When they were trying to revive the sugarcane, Commander Sugar Factory, I don't know, I'm not 100%, but nobody knows the reason why those who were managing it before it collapsed. The reason why they ran away. It could be that the soil may be a factor, but they didn't do that. And then when they were coming to do building the factory and this kind of thing too, I don't think we are closer. They didn't consult that. All that they know they are doing that. Probably you may put everything there, but it may not support the sugarcane as it used to be. Good. That's a second challenge is because it's not popular, and as a result, job opportunities too are not there. People don't want to come and do the soils as it used to be. And as a result, the soil scientists in the system are dwindling. People are not sure because you want something, you finish, you get your job. But We are trying to explain to them that you can do your own farming, you can do your own thing. You come and you understand the soils, your crops may do very, very well. So nowadays, don't come and expect a bind to get each other.
Yeah, I think even, in our question, a lot of African countries are also pushing for the agenda of food security. And for food security to actually be achieved, listening to you, there should be a holistic approach in bringing different departments, each contributing their quota, and even taking into consideration the initiative from the government, the one district, one factory. This is something that soil scientists should have played a very, very key role, yes, in driving the agenda. So I think we even need more soil scientists. There should be ready jobs for these individuals, especially with our different drives that we are looking for. In the green economy we are pushing, soil scientists should be there.
Even training extension officers, they don't do much on the
soil.
So that is the role. So this country.
That is just unfortunate.
Introduce more soils into this.
Exactly.
The person can, you just look at this one here. Could be from the soil.
Even from construction. Now buildings are being erected here and there. They don't do environmental feasibility to ensure. You realize that sometimes you build here, another person builds here. Then now we block the air.
There's another thing to me, not necessary, but it's still soil. We don't have what you call the land banks. You see, if you look at it, you come to the south, almost every soil in one way that is fertile. But nowadays, infrastructure springing up everywhere.
Farmlands have been reduced. Now it's all turning into residential.
Once the farmlands that we reduce and want to maintain, then we have to find a way of reaching the soil so that with the small land left, we can improve the quality of the soil so that it can sustain the crops and we can get the enough food that we want. So the challenge, when you come to the local, like I said, people registering for the course is not encouraging. It's because of this. We have to tell them that doing soil does not necessarily mean go and look for a job. You can do your own farming like backyard.
Yes, if you're a farmer, being a soil scientist should be mandatory. Yes. You should have an idea
on what soil it is. Because all that, apply NPK 20, whatever they apply. It could even be that we have a lot of nitrogen in the soil.
But we are not even aware. And it should, even as much as we need these nutrients, it shouldn't also overshadow. You need them in the right
proportion.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. So it will be in excess.
Exactly.
And when it comes to you have macro and micro. Micro is that NPK where they need in large quantity. But the small ones have some, this one they may not need that. If it is lacking, the crop cannot do well. So it's not a matter of applying the fertilizer for applying sake, but it's a matter of knowing the right quantity at the right time to apply. Then, so these are some of the challenges we are facing.
It's just unfortunate. Because listening to you, I see the relevance of this. I hear the relevance. Yes. I see, and you cut across all sectors.
Yes.
However, if you are being limited to even just agri, it's even not fair.
When you take animals, for example, they do I may need their manure. When I get their manure in that quantity, I have a place, they assure me you get frequent supply of the manure. I can then need to be compost, to do all the compost for biochar, all these things. So at the end of the day, so if you go and you leave your roots now or your legs, haven't gone anywhere. So if we come and I'm not saying crops is not good, no. We concentrate our attention on the crops because the variety is okay. But
the soil to even go the variety.
The other time I was talking to somebody, so at times we can use water. No, I don't have any problem. It's true.
Okay. So hydroponics, yes, and aquaponics.
It is there. But can you grow cocoa on the hydroponic? Can you grow your planting?
But even with the hydroponics, you will need a soil scientist because it's still a medium for growing. And that, yes, so no matter what, the relevance of...
that is probably, yes. I don't know whether we are not making a lot of noise.
I think so.
Or those who are there And then there's another thing too I've done. Somebody may be doing agric all right, but the area may not be necessarily soil science. But because of probably the incentives are, oh, this one, no problem, I can do it. Then you do, so the first year, everything will okay.
I think in every field, almost every field, there should be a soil scientist.
Exactly.
You realize that in engineering,
So,
there should be the soil scientist. In food, there should
Yes.
be, even in the, understanding,
Yes.
understanding
So
the
not
broad
that
scope.
probably with interacting with the soil science, you appreciate it.
Yes.
Other than that, if you sit at your corner,
You wouldn't even, yes.
soil science, what are you doing?
And in that part of the world, you realize because of conventional job opportunities, a lot of people go into the safe.
Yes.
But looking at where we are trying to go, this is the right approach. Exactly.
If you want to maintain or sustainable
Agriculture.
then
Can't
the
do
soils
this
you can't
without
do the
soil
soil.
scientists, water scientists, all the scientists we need them.
Yes. So
Okay.
basically, these are some
Okay.
things.
All right, so Prof, now you have the platform. You can put out a call, just like we've been talking about. Why soil scientists are being sidelined in our part of the world?
What I want to tell, especially our policy makers, is that anytime they want to do anything concerning agriculture, so far as food production or crop production is concerned, they should go with the soil scientists for the initial assessment or analysis of the soil so that they know the type of crops they should grow, the amount of fertilizer they should apply, and a whole lot of things. Other than that, whatever we do will be in the trade. Secondly, I encourage our young ones to come in to do the soil science because there are a lot of opportunities around you may not know. People, if you go to the banks, they may need somebody who has a soil science background.
Even before giving loans.
The quality, is it production manager or something? So these are some of the things. So I encourage the young ones to undertake the soil scientists seriously and to help. So far as sustainable agriculture or sustainable food production is concerned, you cannot do without the soil scientists. So I encourage people come and do the soil science. We have a lot of expertise, a lot of the people who can build you or can train you to become proper soil scientists. Thank you
very much, Prof, for this interesting discussion. Okay. This brings us to the end of this episode of AgroLink on the role of soil scientists in promoting sustainable agricultural practices. As we've just heard, soil scientists are in demand. We need these people, especially along all lines of developmental projects. My name is Nana Ismambasam. Until we meet again, do stay tuned to AgroLink for more educational content on agriculture.